So my name is Angelo Passalacqua, and I am the CEO of Burg Translations, based out of Chicago. We've been around since 1936, and we specialize in very specific technical documents. What makes a good LSP is one that adheres strongly to attention to detail in everything it does, is driven by process. The translation process is driven by humans, and so in order to mitigate issues that come from that, so you have to sort of have faith that the process of what you're doing is what allows you to control for as many factors that can go wrong. So process is a really big thing. One challenge of the industry is that translations is a bit difficult to sell because oftentimes our clients are unaware of what they're receiving. They can't tell the difference between, you know, a high quality Chinese translation and you know, word for word machine translation quality. So educating the client on that is really critical if you're going to allow the clients to appreciate the type of deliverable that you're offering. I think that's a good question. Client education, I think how you approach it depends a lot on what the client already knows. The easiest kind of client education is where the client actually has already experienced something negative. So for example, they tried to use internal resource like an intern, or they tried to use Google Translate or something like that, and they were burned for whatever reason. And so now they're open to understanding why our industry exists. Why are there companies that are dedicated just to translation and localization? In that kind of case, the level of education and the amount and what you have to explain is much easier. If you have someone who is less responsive to education on the translation industry, it's a little like saying they're less willing to invest in the process. If they're less willing to invest in the process, they're going to be more difficult to become a client. And at that point, you kind of have to ask yourself, you know, are you trying to force a sale here, or is it maybe, are you sort of being introduced to the client too early at a stage, and it's better that through experience they discover what could potentially happen. I mean, and you can always, of course, ask questions. For example, the most common one is, say you do translations in your own way. You use your engineer, you use your intern, you use Google Translate, and you discover a problem. How would you discover the problem? What will you do then? Will it have been too late? And so raising these sort of hypothetical scenarios allows the clients to think through, well, is it worth the risk? Is it necessary? And then they're far more likely to be open to learning about if there's a way to collaborate, how to collaborate. Yeah, I would say pretty much all of the stress comes from deadlines. Without deadlines, you wouldn't worry so much about it. If you want simple things to help you manage the stress is to stay in control. The easiest ways of mitigating stress, managing deadlines, is to consciously be aware of them and to just simply ensure that you're on track. Technology helps a lot with this, and so does good communication. When you have longer projects, it's good to occasionally get in touch with your translators to make sure that they're on track. Simple things like this go a long way. And of course, having a supportive team can allow you in certain situations to handle a bigger workload. So it's basically understanding when your deadlines are, keeping on track of of making sure you're meeting them and being comfortable and open to asking for help when you need to.